That's right, been on Capitol Hill all day, and China's top economic advisor Liu He held meetings with members of the U.S. Congress ahead of those trade negotiations with the Trump administration on Thursday and Friday. He met with the chairs of the powerful House Committee on Ways and Means and Senate Committee on Finance. Now, they expressed concerns about protecting U.S. intellectual property. Lawmakers told us that Liu He said, in part, that he was here in Washington to listen to U.S. concerns. The lawmakers told us that their focus was not so much on the trade deficit, nor on the fate of ZTE, the Chinese telecoms firm recently banned from purchasing U.S. components, and on life support. Their focus was really much on expressing concerns over what they see as problems with China's trading practices and market access for U.S. companies. They said they want to make the trade relationship much more, and this is their words, reciprocal. Orrin Hatch, also a U.S. senator who met with Liu He and his delegation, has criticized the White House imposition of steel and aluminum tariffs. And he's essentially a free trader who wants the threat of tariffs on both sides lifted. It's worth highlighting, though, that the U.S. Congress is really currently considering tightening restrictions on Chinese investment in the U.S. and increasing scrutiny of Chinese purchases of U.S. firms, especially in key technology sectors. And many of these concerns, Mike, are actually bipartisan, not Republican or Democrat, but actually there is a meeting of minds which perhaps the Chinese delegation learned a bit about today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Nathan, Thursday, of course, sees the beginning of 2 days of negotiations with the Trump administration. What can we expect?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, and the short answer is we don't know. U.S. President Trump, remember, surprised many at the weekend by tweeting about how he will intervene to help ZTE. He's kind of backtracked that on a little bit in the last 24 hours, a move that seemed to signal that Trump might be ready to compromise. But then he tweeted this: the meetings haven't even started yet. The U.S. has given very little because it has given so much over the years. China has much to give. Read into that what you will. What we do know is Liu He will meet with this guy, Steve Mnuchin, of course, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, who's leading the negotiations, along with Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross and Ambassador Lighthizer here, Robert Lighthizer, the U.S. Trade Representative. Now, Mnuchin is known to want a deal that cuts the trade deficit. The U.S. President, of course, has often signaled that that is his priority. Lighthizer and others, however, have pushed China to essentially make more structural changes to its economy. As for the Chinese delegation, well, Liu He leads a group of 8 high-ranking Chinese officials, including the vice ministers responsible for agriculture, industry, commerce, and finance, and the governor of the People's Bank of China. A lot, of course, is at stake. The U.S., as we have been reporting here for months, is threatening to slap tariffs on up to $150 billion worth of Chinese imports. China, of course, says it will retaliate. 2 weeks ago in Beijing, the trade talks ended with big differences. Business executives, economists, consumers on both sides of the Pacific hope this round will bridge some of the remaining gaps. Stay tuned, we'll bring it to you, of course, for the next 3 days. Very important talks.